Hello, friends. I'm so glad you're here with me today. Have you ever felt like a place was calling out to you, not just to visit, but to truly discover something new about yourself, something you didn't even know was missing? That's exactly how I felt about Japan, even before I set foot there. I imagined the dazzling neon lights of Tokyo, the peaceful gardens of Kyoto, and of course, the unforgettable food that everyone talks about. And yes, Japan has all of that and so much more than I could have dreamed. But the real magic wasn't in the famous sights or the plans I made before arriving. It was in the unexpected moments, a stranger's warm hello, a detour down a quiet street that completely changed my perspective on travel and on life. I thought I was going for the food, the sights, the adventure, but I came back with a heart fuller than I ever expected. The secret ingredient? It's the people and their quiet, profound kindness that seems to be woven into everyday life here. It's in a shared smile over a steaming bowl of noodles, or a helping hand you never even thought to ask for, but received anyway. These are the stories I want to share with you. Not just the top 10 lists, but the quiet, beautiful moments in between that make a journey unforgettable. Getting lost, meeting unforgettable faces, learning that real adventure is about being open to surprise and letting go of expectations. So come with me. Let's wander Japan's side streets together, explore hidden corners, and see what we find when we let curiosity lead the way. These aren't just travel stories. They're about human connection, unexpected kindness, and the simple joy of sharing a meal with new friends. In the end, that's the best souvenir you can bring home. Memories of kindness, laughter, and the feeling of truly belonging, even far from home. Tokyo is a whirlwind, millions moving at once, lights, energy, chaos. The city pulses with life, every street corner buzzing with possibility. It's easy to feel both lost and exhilarated, swept up in the endless motion of the crowds. In Shinjuku, I lost my wallet without even noticing. One moment, I was just another face in the crowd. The next, I was searching my pockets in disbelief, realizing something important was missing. Panic set in at a ramen shop. My money, cards, everything, gone. My mind raced through worst-case scenarios, imagining the hassle of canceling cards and the feeling of being stranded in a foreign city. In most cities, that's the end of the story. Lost items rarely find their way back, and you're left with regret and inconvenience. But then my hotel called. "Mr. Rosenthal, we have your wallet." I could hardly believe it. Relief washed over me, mixed with surprise at the unexpected turn of events. A young man found it, saw my hotel key, and called them. He could have ignored it, but instead, he took the time to help a stranger he'd never met. No reward, no name, just kindness. He asked for nothing in return, simply doing what he felt was right. When I picked it up, every yen and card was there. Not a single thing was missing, as if the wallet had never left my pocket. Relief, gratitude, awe. One stranger's honesty in a city of millions. I felt a deep sense of connection to this place and its people. That act taught me more than any monument, the quiet honor woven into Japanese life. It's a lesson you can't learn from guidebooks or tours. In a place so big, it's the small, selfless acts that stand out. These moments of humanity shine brighter than the neon lights. It changed how I see trust and how I want to treat others. I left with a new perspective, inspired to pay that kindness forward. Sometimes the greatest lesson is simply being cared for by a stranger. It's a reminder that goodness exists, even when you least expect it. That's the real heart of travel. Beyond the sights and sounds, it's the people and their values that leave the deepest mark. And that's the story I'll never forget. It's a memory I'll carry with me wherever I go. In Japan, trust is not just expected, it's lived. It's a quiet strength that shapes every encounter, and it's something I hope to embody in my own life. Kyoto's beauty is legendary, with its ancient temples, delicate cherry blossoms, and streets that seem to whisper stories from centuries past. But its real charm is found in the quiet alleys, where daily life unfolds away from the crowds and time slows down. Wandering through Gion, I let my senses guide me, following the irresistible scent of garlic and ginger that drifted through the air, leading me to a tiny, welcoming house tucked between old machiya. Inside, an elderly woman, an obasan, was folding gyoza with practiced hands, her movements gentle and full of care, as if she'd done this 1,000 times before. She caught me watching from the doorway, smiled warmly, and beckoned me closer, her eyes sparkling with kindness. Without a word, she handed me a plate of her homemade dumplings, the steam rising in the cozy kitchen, inviting me to taste a piece of her world. I bowed deeply, overwhelmed by her unexpected generosity and the warmth that filled the small room. The gyoza were perfect, crispy on the outside, juicy and bursting with flavor inside, each bite a blend of tradition and home-cooked love. But more than that, they were filled with kindness, a silent message of welcome and acceptance. In that moment, food became a language of welcome, a way to bridge the gap between strangers without a single word spoken. I stood in a quiet alley, eating gyoza from a stranger's kitchen, feeling at peace in a city far from my own home, yet somehow not a stranger at all. She didn't know me, but she shared her food and her warmth, offering a moment of connection that needed no translation. That simple act reminded me, food connects us, no words needed, just open hearts and shared plates. Sometimes, the best meals are the ones shared with strangers, when you least expect it, in places you never imagined. And the taste of home can be found anywhere if you're open to it. Sometimes it's just a smile and a plate away. That's the flavor I'll always remember, the taste of kindness in a faraway place. Kenrokuen in Kanazawa is a masterpiece of nature and intention. Amid grand ponds and ancient trees, I noticed an elderly gardener kneeling with tweezers, picking pine needles from moss. His focus was absolute. No audience, no applause, just quiet dedication. It was kodawari, the pursuit of perfection, even in the smallest task. Watching him, I realized beauty isn't just in grand gestures, but in the care for tiny details. His work was a meditation, a silent conversation with nature. It made me rethink how I approach my own life. How often do I rush, missing the small things? True beauty is in the love you pour into the unnoticed. I left the garden grateful for the lesson. The world is made better, one pine needle at a time. Sometimes the quietest moments teach us the most. Sapporo in winter is a sparkling wonderland and absolutely freezing. After a day at the snow festival, I ducked into a tiny ramen shop, desperate for warmth. Locals filled the counter, slurping noodles in comforting rhythm. The chef, focused and efficient, handed me a bowl of Sapporo miso ramen, rich broth, tender pork, corn, butter. The first spoonful was pure comfort, thawing me from the inside out. In that moment, ramen was more than food. It was survival, happiness, and community. Strangers shared smiles, united by the simple joy of a hot meal on a cold night. That bowl wasn't just a meal, it was a moment of connection. Food brings people together, creating warmth beyond the body. Even on the coldest nights, kindness and good food can make you feel at home. That's the magic of Sapporo. And that's why I'll always remember that ramen. Miyajima Island's floating torii gate is iconic, but my favorite moment happened on the ferry ride over. Amid the crowd, I watched an older ferry worker, calm, precise, dignified, secure the boat. A little girl nearby watched him too, eyes wide with wonder. When he finished, he caught her gaze, winked, and smiled. She beamed, hiding behind her mother. A silent exchange, a spark of connection. No words, just kindness and pride in simple work. That fleeting moment moved me more than the famous gate. Sometimes, the most meaningful stories are told without speaking. Humanity shines brightest in the smallest gestures, and that's the memory I carried from Miyajima. Nara's deer are famous, bowing for crackers among ancient temples. The park is filled with laughter and playful chaos. I watched school children in yellow hats giggling as they fed the deer. Their joy was infectious. pure, unfiltered happiness echoing through the park. They weren't chasing the perfect photo, just living in the moment. Watching them, my own worries melted away. It reminded me, the best moments are simple. Laughter, wonder, being present. Sometimes, the greatest gift is rediscovering the world through a child's eyes. The giant Buddha was awe-inspiring, but the sound of children's laughter is what I'll remember. Joy is everywhere if you look for it. That's the real treasure of Nara, and it's a lesson I hope never to forget. My favorite way to explore a new city: get lost on purpose. In Japan, wandering off the map is where the magic happens. I strolled through a quiet Tokyo neighborhood, tiny shops, flower pots, locals living their everyday lives. I found a family-run coffee shop, a hidden shrine, a park where men played shogi. These weren't famous sights, but they were the heartbeat of the city. Getting lost taught me. The best discoveries aren't on any itinerary. Sometimes the most meaningful moments come from detours and surprises. In Japan, I never felt lost, just free. It made me more curious, more open, less afraid of the unknown. So put down the map, just for a while. Let your heart lead the way. You'll find more than you ever expected. That's the real adventure. Every trip ends, but Japan became a part of me. The sights, the food, the people, they filled a suitcase in my heart. Japan changed me quietly, like gentle rain nourishing the soul. I learned to find beauty in imperfection, to appreciate dedication, to trust strangers. The real souvenirs are the moments of connection. A smile, a shared meal, a simple kindness. My hope is that these stories inspire you to find your own, wherever you are. Travel with an open heart, look for humanity, go beyond the famous sights, eat at small places, get a little lost, notice the details. These are the things that truly change you. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If these stories moved you, I hope you'll keep exploring with me. The world is beautiful, delicious, and full of wonderful people. Now go find your own story. And remember, the best journeys never really end.